Yeah, hello and welcome to ConWorxx IV, Spielworks' own small, friendly, cozy online games convention. My name is Uli Blennemann, and as usual, if you have questions today or comments, please put them in the chat window, and most probably Ignacy will also respond. And so I just gave a hint. We'll start with the founder of one of the best board game companies worldwide as my guest, Ignacy of Portal Games. So, welcome, Ignacy. How are you?
Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I'm fine, thank you. It's a beautiful weather in Poland. It's beautiful weather for the whole week, so a great time before wrestling.
Yeah, so and especially on a weekend, thank you for your time in great weather. And hello, Karthik, good seeing you. And he's also saying hi to you, Ignacy. And for people, just very briefly, for the two or three people who do not know you, Ignacy, who is Ignacy and what's your job anyway?
Yeah, this is super confusing because on one hand, I'm a game designer, so you might play my games like Detective or Robinson Crusoe. As you mentioned, game publisher, so I run a publishing company that works especially in Poland. In Poland, we're the second biggest publisher of games. We do Root, Blood Rage, all these famous games released in Poland is by Portal Games. I do also Portal Games USA, where we release games in English. I'm a podcaster. I have two podcasts. I'm a writer. I have a blog. So basically, I'm an enthusiast of board gaming, and you can take my content on various forms. Either this is games, either this is articles about the games, it is just talking about the games in the podcast. I love board games, and this is what I do for a living.
Yeah, so which of course is fantastic if you can do what you love as a job. And for people, just a second for the podcasts. As you said, Ignacy, you are doing a podcast in English language, but you're also doing a podcast in Polish language. My language skills are really low anyway, as you right now notice, but Polish are zero. But please just take a look at YouTube at the Polish stream. It's fantastic how fast someone can talk, and apparently it's wonderful humor. So please check this out. So this just as the sideline.
Thank you.
And but now moving to Portal games, you had a busy year, right, Ignacy? What did you release so far? Maybe apart from the localizations you are doing for the Polish market, but what games also did you release for the worldwide market?
Yes, for worldwide, we started the year with a release of the 11. 11 was released at S in the last year in German and in English, but the worldwide release and the American release, the most important for us, the biggest market, was happening this year. We released 11 along with all the 5 expansions, so there was a huge release for us. We were releasing the expansion every other month, so it was for like 5 months event, putting out the content for the fans. We delivered and therefore released also 51st State. This is my old game from 2010, I believe, still on the market, still lots of fans enjoying the game. And 51st State actually is already sold out, so it was a very successful release for us. We delivered the backers, we released it for the retail, and we sold out for the retail. So mission accomplished. I'm very happy. And but of course, as we all know, SN is approaching. So our main release of this year is not only delivering the game from the last year, 51st State or 11, but brand new game that is called Imperial Miners, and this is our main release for the year. We do it in Polish, obviously. We do it in English, obviously. We do it with Pegelspiele in German, and we have, I believe, 12 or 11 other languages. So this is a major release for us. We have a French edition, Spanish edition, Italian edition, Chinese edition, Ukrainian edition, etc., etc., etc. So it's a big project for us, and I'm very proud not only from the game, because I always care about the games. I always believe that my games are very interesting. So this is one point, but I'm very proud of my logistic and the whole production team that they managed to get all the files in all these languages and do co-printing, and now people in all these different languages will be able to play the game this year. So this is a huge operation for us.
Yeah, wonderful. So my congratulations. So many languages, and we will stick to or move to Imperial Miners in a second. But let me go one step back to 11. So people, if you are thinking sports board games are nothing for you, check out the game if you have a chance, because this is a management game that really gets you to that feeling that you maybe had 20 or 30 years ago when you were playing video sports management simulation. So really wonderful game. And 51st State, in my opinion, is one of your very best games all time. So wonderful games there. And before we move over, so thank you. No, hello, Petit Prince, nice name. So and Pete, good seeing you and seeing you next week. And Brad Pitt is there as well. Probably somebody else as that Brad Pitt. But hello and good seeing you. So Imperial Miners, as you just mentioned, is your main release for Essen. So we are having just 4 or 5 days till Essen. Is it still possible to pre-order the game and pick it up at Essen, paying at the booth, or is this too late now?
So yeah, so pre-orders from our website are closed. The whole team shut down all the orders. We have printed all the orders. And so we have the list of all the orders, and everything is packed on the big truck. And on Friday, so it was yesterday, the truck started. They traveled to Germany, so it reaches Germany on Monday. So obviously you will be able to go to our booth. Obviously you'll be able to secure your copy at the booth as long as we have copies. But for the pre-orders, this weekend is too late. And this is, I believe, true for many publishers, because you guys have to understand that when you approach the booth and you will say, I have a pre-order, we need to check this. So we need to prepare. And because SN is so close, so we already had to print all the list of the pre-orders. We had to prepare all your orders. We had to prepare all the goodies we have for you. So everything was prepared this week. And everything is on the truck, on the way to Germany. So if you were waiting, now it's time to start running to our booth on Thursday morning, because there's no way to secure your copies through online purchase. And I believe this is true for all the publishers. Like, we all have to be ready at this point. Like, for us, Essen already started. My team is coming from Poland on Monday. So on Monday we go to the car, they go to the Germany, they reach Germany Monday afternoon, and on Tuesday is the setup when you start to building your booth. On Wednesday you're finishing building your booth, and on Thursday the show starts. So for all of you who have now this last weekend to check the wish list, to check what's hot, for us the operation already is going on. Like, this is happening.
Yeah, but you see it. You're 100% right, Ignacy, of course. But you see it from the emails. So I was in my mail program a couple of minutes ago, and yeah, people are still asking. That's natural because they are just now checking the lists. But yeah, it is for that a little bit too late. So please go to the booth as early as possible and try to try to get your Imperial Miners copy. So to get this right, you have English language copies at your booth, and Pegasus has the German ones, or if somebody would like a German copy, can they still go to the portal booth? How is this handled?
No, we will have only English copies. We do it for years. Every year with Pegasus SPIEL, they secure German editions, and so if the customer comes to our booth looking for a German edition, we will tell them there is next to us is a Pegasus SPIEL. Please go there. So we do English edition of the game, and Pegasus doing a German edition.
Yeah. And just to a small interruption here, going back to 11, Meeple Pete is saying the board mechanic in 11 is great. And hello Hans, hello Bodo, good seeing you, and of course good seeing, and they are saying hi to you, Ignacy. And hello Hans, and Pete is mentioning, before we get back to Imperial Miners, and I think I heard this in Board Games Insider too, or maybe somewhere else, you have copies of Table Golf Association, right? Which game is that? That one. Okay.
So we are recording this interview and this live with our fans during my family retreat. I'm not at my home. I'm in my old house. Came here with a friend, Chevy Dot, and we are playing all weekend. We are playing games. So I brought new releases. I have not with me Imperial Miners because I played this game over the last month so many times. So I didn't pick a copy for my retreat. But I have these other new releases that are at the Portal Games booth, and one of these is a Table Golf Association, and the story of this game is super interesting. So this game designed by an American designer who self-published this game. He did a Kickstarter, and he did the first print, and then he did a second print, and the game has no distribution. This is a one-man show. He just designed the game, he produced the game, he did the Kickstarter, like a classical Cinderella story. He had an idea, he grabbed the money, he produced the game, and he has no distribution. But I love sports, as we know. I love dexterity games. I love pitch card, crokinole. I like all these games when there is a competition in the dexterity. And I played his game at the Dice Tower Con, and I told him I love the game, and he said he has no distribution. I said I will help you. And so we are bringing to Essen to show 200 copies. And to be very, very honest with all of us, this is not much of a business decision. This is just a crazy idea to just, there is a crazy positive dude living in America, has no distribution in Europe. So I brought 200 copies of this crazy game. Who gets first to Portal Games booth, they will get it. And that's it. There is no other plan for distribution. There's no other business plans. It's just, I told him, John, I'm bringing a couple of games so people can take them. This is a flicking game, so this is like a pitch card or like crokinole. So you have pawn, you have to flick it on the board, and the board is built from different hex spaces, and each hex space is like in a real golf. It may be a sand, it may be a bush or the forest, and depending when you are flicking, where you end up, you have then a different rule how to flick from this new space. And you are playing golf. It's insane, it's fun, and yes, as I said, I will have 200 copies. Who gets first, get them, and there's no other way to get this game in Europe anyway.
But this is wonderful of you. So to help somebody out, especially if it's clearly a labor of love. Yes, he wanted to do the game, he did everything, and this is wonderful. But I think we need two more pieces of information here. First, because we hadn't mentioned it so far, where can people find you at Essen? Which hall, which booth?
As for the hall, I know we are in the hall number 3.
Yeah.
For the number, because the numbers changed this year, I don't remember them from the sky. So
but people will find it, and I know that you're not far from me. So I'm also in Hall 3 this year because of this rescheduling. So in my number is H115, and it is close by.
I have a letter H. This is what I remember. So I have a Hall 3, a letter H, and then some numbers that I don't remember yet.
Okay, so but people, you will see the booth, and you see there's always service. Karthik is putting into in Bodo 2, it's H102. So, so thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Bodo. And hello, Claude. Claude Serrois from Canada is here, the designer of Smoky Valley, Grand Trunk Journey, and the resident Roosters fan in Canada. And I have to tell you, Claude, briefly, Hubert Labrie, he's on your shirt, he's currently injured. So what can you do? But back to other info that is important for the table golf game, table golf association game. What's the price point? How much does it cost?
I have no clue.
Ignacy. This is horrible.
This is my crazy idea. So I contacted my sales department, and said, this is my friend John. You bring 200 copies of this game and sell it at the booth because he's awesome. And this is all I was involved. I have no clue about the business of this operation. Like, I don't know how we pay for this game. I don't know how we sell the game. I just love the game, and I made it happen. So
yeah. So just
full greatness.
But this is no problem, and I just tell you, people if you are going to Essen, please check out on Thursday the Portal Games booth. You now know where it is, 3H102, and not only by Imperial Miners, but also the golf game. So you can get 2 games and you'll be happy. And there
That's
is
true.
even Frucht Factory, nice to meet you, which is from Coesfeld, which is just a couple of kilometers from me. So wonderful. Um, yeah, but Imperial Miner. So that is your main release, Ignacy. Um, why is this such a great game in your opinion?
So I could talk long about this. I will just make it shorter version. But the bottom line of the whole thing is that I see this game as a perfect example of modern design. So for all of us who watch how the industry changed, and you remember Tikal and Torres, the games that use the points of actions, and you have 10 actions, and now you have to spend these points of actions, and then the industry was a little bit easier, and then you have Agricola, and you have all this feeding. Like we have these waves of different mechanisms, and of course it's fascinating for me as a designer. And Imperial Miners, this new game from Team Armstrong, is a perfect example of the games of this modern era. And what I mean about that, the game you play all together simultaneously, so there is no downtime. The game lasts about 40 minutes. The game can be played up to 5 people at the same time because you play simultaneously. Like this, all these little things that show this is modern design for all these new people who discovered board games, who don't want to play for 90 or 2 hours. They don't want complex rules. They just want to have amazing, amazing experience. I remember for the first time when I played Century, it was like 7 years ago, 6 years ago,
Yeah.
from Plan B released the game Century, and I opened the box and I saw the rulebook had 2 pages, and I said, "This is future. This is what we are looking for: the deep, interesting games, but super, super simple rules." And Imperial Miners is that kind of the game. You open the game, you read the rulebook that has like 4 pages. You're ready to go. You have experience as a gamer that is engaging, involving, but it is modern design. It is not super, super complex in terms of the rules. And the game is of my favorite genre of all time. This engine building card games. You're building your cards, and these cards have synergies between them, and you're making these combos, and you put your cards into your tableau and get victory points, and we all love victory points. And at the end of the game, the player who has the better synergies, the better combos, will generate most victory points. So it is in the line of Imperial Settlers, because Imperial Settlers is an engine building game. This is like Empires of the North is an engine building card game. This one is the simplest, the fastest. When I played with the Bonaccord, he used the English word that I really, really like, and I think it fits to the game. He said, "Ignacy, this game is slick, like that."
Yeah.
We play and we play and we play and we get victory points. And after these 40 minutes, we all feel fulfilled that it was a nice experience, but it wasn't like 90 minutes. It was 45 minutes, and we have the fun out of that. And the game is, as I said, designed by Tim Armstrong. He sent us prototype, and the game at the very beginning was about divers diving in the ocean. And I said that we love the mechanisms, but I cannot swim. Like it was like, no. I can tell him we have this family of games, Imperial Settlers, that are engine building card games. Let's change the theme for the Imperial Settlers world, and we'd love to publish the game. Of course, he agreed. We changed the theme, we changed a little bit of mechanism, we added amazing artwork, and now this game is releasing at us, and I'm super, super proud. I was spending the last few months traveling, starting from the Dice Tower Con in July, and then in Poland, many conventions and UK Game Expo, and everywhere I'm going, the game has amazing, amazing feedback. So still, I'm not confident we will have a success, but I'm very, very optimistic. The game is really, really very, very good.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to judge this in advance. Of course, there are some ingredients, but there are the sheer mass of releases makes it so difficult to predict it. But I'm sure it will do very fine. Let me just look into the chat. There are some comments, and we'll get back to the to Imperial Miners in a second. Yeah, Karthik is saying that he pre-ordered Imperial Miners, and by the way, me too, so I can pick up my copy. And there is price information from Bodo, Tabletop Golf Association, according to the SPIEL app, which is pretty nice, by the way. And it is not only Table Golf Association, it's Table Golf Association Pro Edition. So it's 90 euros. So, and I think for a game that you cannot get anywhere else in Europe. That is a fair price. You have to see a low print run, small print run, and then it's in Europe. And if I order something from the US these days, you know what postage alone is. So you know that it's more than 30 euros normally, and so that price is fine. And Frucht Factory is saying, I'm going for Imperial Miners for sure at Essen on Thursday. That's what you are doing. So thank you so much. But going back to Imperial Miners, you are saying all people are doing stuff simultaneously. Is this just for the, is there a planning phase and then it's around the table, or is everything done simultaneously?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the round, we have a event. We draw an event. The event changes the rules for this particular round. So in each round, the rules will be a little bit slightly different to spice the game a little bit. And the event is also the counter, because we have 10 rounds, so we have 10 events. We know that when we draw the last event, this is the last round. And then when we resolve the event, everybody plays exactly one card, which is brilliant. And I love it when I explain the game at the convention and I say the game lasts 10 rounds. In each round, you will play one card. At the end of the game, you will have 10 cards in front of you, and the one who made the best synergies will win. And they look at me and they don't feel like engine building, card building, gamers game with 10 cards, it doesn't make sense. And then they play and they see the nice twist in the game, because these are super smart activation rules, how this card, when you put them in the game, how they activate, and you play one card, activate 3 other cards. It's insane, and the combos are generating. So once again, as I said, the base rules, in your round, everybody at the table simultaneously play one card, and then you activate things on your table, you calculate your victory points, your gold, your stuff, and then everybody ready? Next round, we draw the event, something happens, and everybody plays one card. And from this one card, things are happening. Kudos to the designer, how he made all these chains of reactions between cards.
So very interesting. So can the card, so this is my personal question now, because I'm now really curious, although I've pre-ordered the game. So does it matter when you play a card, or can all 10 cards work together? Or is there a break? So let's say I've played my first card, of course, then my second card. They may work together. Then the third card isn't really doing something with the first two cards. Will the fourth card be able to work with the first and second card? Wow.
Exactly. You are building. Oh, the theme is mines. So you are going deep into the mines. You are building the cards below each other. And when you play the card, you activate the card that you played, and all the cards above, because your miners are going up. So depending the order how you play the cards and in which part of the mine, you will activate different cards. And one card can be activated many times depending how well you played it. So the order, how we plan the strategy. We have this couple of cards now, how to play them so they activate the best, most efficient way is a key to win. And that's why, as I say, on one hand, it's just 10 cards, but then they will be activated so many times in different orders, and this is making the change who will win and who will lose.
Yeah, wow, this sounds amazing. So really wonderful. And I have two questions here from the chat on the game. So one question is, Petit Prince is asking it, will Imperial Miners be localized in France?
Yes, Yellow is doing a French edition, so it will be released, and I already have a copy in my office. So I don't know what's the official release date in France, but I know the game exists.
Very good. So that answers your question. Frucht Factory also has a question. Does Imperial Miners include a solo mode?
Yeah, so we have the game has a solo mode in which you are beating the result, and I already see on Facebook groups for the solo players discussing and saying how many scores they get and what's the best strategy. So it's already nice working, and I can tease a little bit that my team is working for each year for Christmas. Portal Games for the past decade or more is releasing free expansions for our games. Like our development knows that after Essen and around the Essen, we are already preparing some small scenarios, expansion that can be printed out as a PDF for our games. And spoiler alert, My development team is working for a surprise for the fans of Imperial Miners who like solo, and there will be some additional amazing content for free from our website for you guys for Christmas.
So excellent, and also thank you from Frucht Factory for this information. So sounds really amazing. So is there anything new to other games, or what is planned in the next couple of months? Is there a major release, or are you waiting to the response of Imperial Miners, Ignacy?
So the rest of the year will be support for our games in form of the free expansions on the website. So for instance, this Essen, we are also celebrating 1 year anniversary of 11 because it was released last year in 11. So this Essen, we are releasing new free scenarios for the game. So it will be available for free from our website, or you can buy, if you want a physical copy, you can buy for like €5. These scenarios. So the design of the game, Thomas Jensen prepared mini campaign, 3 scenarios for 11 connected in one story. You are super experienced coach, but your first clue up from the beginning of your career asking you, we have a problem, sir, we need you. Please come back to our club because there is an investor wants to buy the stadium, the club will collapse, and they need to gather money, they need to win matches, and then you have a 3 scenario campaign in which you not only need to win matches like in a basic game of 11, but you need to get investors, get sponsors, save as much money as possible, because in the final of this campaign you are fighting and beating the stupid investor who wants to steal the stadium from fans. So this is what my development is doing. We have one more thing, one surprise that we are also designing for the end of the year. So also, yeah, Essen and Imperial Madness is our last release of the game.
Yeah.
And we will keep entertaining our fans with the free stuff from our website, so they can have replayability for our games. And so this is what's happening. And obviously, we are working on a Robinson Crusoe, this big collector's edition. It will be delivered to fans this year, but it will not be released in stores. So for the stores, it's next year. This year is only delivery for the backers.
Yeah, wonderful. So that is sounds really great. And Karthik is saying he has been to PortalCon a few years back and had a blast. Ignacy is very friendly in person. So I have to say, I'm not that sure. No, you're absolutely right. Ignacy is a very friendly, wonderful person.
I think it was 2016. I think we were announcing Cry Havoc back then. So Patrick may confirm if I remember the date, but I think it was PortalCon 2016. Greetings.
So that is so Karthik is yes. So he's confirming this. So yeah, Ignacy, this sounds excellent, and I'm really looking forward to Imperial Miners, to meeting you in person next week. And everyone, thank you for listening here. And of course, if you have a chance to attend Spiel next week, please stop at the Portal Games booth on Thursday, because as Ignacy pointed out, it's not only Imperial Miners, there's a table golf game, there are other goodies, and of course there will be also the back catalog available. So please stop by, and
I will... One more very important message to put the end for the interview. Germany, at this point of the year, as far as I know, they have Lebkuchen in stores, so you can buy a lot of Lebkuchen and bring to my booth. Like, we sell games for Lebkuchen as well. So don't hesitate.
This sounds wonderful. Yeah, in Germany, you see the Christmas season is basically starting in May. This is a little bit exaggerated, but it's starting in September in stores. And yes, there are Lebkuchen, there are Spekulatius, there is all this stuff.
I'm ready for that.
Has some taste for this, so please bring everything to the Portal Games booth, and that will definitely help him over 4 days at Essen. And yeah, Bet Pretty is saying games for Lebkuchen. Yes, so excellent. And Frucht Factory is thanking you also for your time and insights, and I have to say the same thing. Ignacy, my pleasure. Have a safe trip to Essen and see you next week. And here I'm not pausing the stream. Actually, I'm closing the stream for technical reasons. So I'm very sorry for the inconvenience. You have to reconnect. We will be back in 14 minutes here with a look what SPIELWORXX is planning at Essen. So till then, bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.